So, I've never made a YouTube video before. Probably no one out there knows who I am, except for maybe one person who I'm going to link this video to later. But, the first thing I'm going to tell you about me is I'm Christian. I was raised Catholic. I dreaded going to church every Sunday with my great grandpa and sitting in that pew. I thought it was the worst thing ever. And then I got to high school, and he wasn't there anymore. And I was sitting there asking God why he took that away from me. And I went through this really rough phase where, this boy who I thought was the one for me up with me, and I was losing my friends, and I wasn't close to my family because my parents were getting divorced, and it was bad. I was honestly, can tell you, I was depressed. There were nights I sat up in bed wondering what the world would be like if I wasn't in it. That was my freshman year. My sophomore year, there was another boy. He was atheist, and he convinced me there wasn't a God, because if there was a God, then there would be so many problems in our world. Then came summer. Over the summer, there was another guy I was friends with, a boy who I thought I loved. The second one, not the first one. We were having some problems in our relationship. And my best friend and his girlfriend were like, why don't you come with us to youth group on Monday night? We do this really fun thing. It's called Summer Wars. It's 2 hours of total amazement, fun, and games, and then an hour of worship. And I wasn't sure about it. I put it off for weeks on end. And then one day I finally went. And I remember the first few weeks, I didn't know what to do. I was going to hang out with friends. The last hour was so awkward for me, but it was different. Anyone who's raised in a Catholic church can tell you that they teach you that God hates you. You're a sinner, and you have to beg for God's forgiveness. You have to go to confession. I hated confession. And then you walk into this Christian church, and they're playing Christian rock music for worship. Like, it's this cute boy on bass guitar and the PK's daughter, who has a gorgeous voice. And you don't understand at first. You think, how is this real? And then your friends are preaching to you that all you have to do is give your life to God. My road to Christianity has been long and hard, and it's been months since June. I remember November, went to Ohio Reach Convention. I don't have my bracelet on right now, or I'd show you. Some of you would recognize it, I'm sure, out there. Pat Schatzline was the speaker, and I remember sitting in this packed room full of hundreds of teenagers in Ohio. And he said something about feeling abandoned by your father. He was talking to the girls in the room, and he had us all get up and come down and stand in the front. I remember standing there, and I could feel this weight that I hadn't noticed before. And he said to close your eyes and put up your arms like you're dancing with someone. And he said to all the girls whose dads have let them down in life, there's one father who you'll never lose, and that's God. And I remember coming home that Saturday night, after all the crying I'd done, all the thinking I'd done, and all the praying I'd done, And I promised myself that I was going to be one of those kids. One of those kids, everyone goes, she's one of those Christians, but she's proud of it. And I was for the longest time. I forgot to mention that boy had broken up with me once I started getting into youth group over the summer. And then he came back and he was like, well, I would get back with you, but I can't get back with someone who's going to be all gaudy all the time. I begged him and pleaded him to accept it, to at least try to, for me. I mean, that's what it's about, isn't it? Learning to work with people's quirks. But he wouldn't. And then he almost got me to turn my face on God again. I'd applied for the youth worship team. Our youth pastor was at sniper training. Yes, I said sniper training. Our youth pastor's a sniper in the army. It was his calling. Don't argue God. God told me it was the wrong thing to do. I ignored him. I did some stuff I'm not proud of. I'm still a virgin, but that doesn't mean much. To me, it didn't then. I thought if I gave up everything you wanted me to, you would take me back. They didn't. But you know who did take me back? God. He accepted my apology. I didn't have to sit in a stuffy room with some crazy priest who I was afraid of because he was like a billion years old. I sat on my bed. I sat right here with my Bible in my hand and I prayed for forgiveness to God. And that's just what you have to do sometimes. You just have to talk to God and He listens. No matter how much you think that your best friend's listening to you, He's not. God is the one who's listening at all times. I'm sure you've all heard at some point in your life, apart from another, footsteps in the sand. I can't quote it exactly word for word, but it's something about looking back and seeing one set of footsteps. And God tells the man, where you saw one set of footsteps, that's where I carried you. All this time I spent thinking I was alone. God was just carrying me. And now, here I am, over half a year into my journey to Christianity, and I'm saved. I'm not just saved. It's not a new thing. It's just actually, I guess a week ago now. A girl who I've been best friends with when I was younger, she was one of my first friends at this school when I moved, texted me and she was like, well, what's the information on your youth group? And I was like, well, what? Are you kidding me? God tells us not to judge, but I did. She was absolutely not the Christianity type. I love you, sweetheart, when you watch this. Know that I'm saying this from the true bottom of my heart. I didn't think she had what it took to walk into our church and be accepted. And then I remembered God doesn't turn us away. Even in our darkest hour, that's when He's carrying us. So I told her, and she went. I couldn't go, I had family stuff. The next day she texted me and told me how amazing of a time she had. And I was so proud of her. I've never been more proud of anyone in my life than I was when she texted me and told me that she was finding love. She reminded me so much of myself in that instant. I just wanted to reach out and hug her and tell her that no matter how long and steep the road is, you're building your house on the rock that won't fall. You're leaving trust in someone who will always be there for you. And that's why I'm making this video. I was praying for her journey to Christianity, for her to find God, to be enlightened and have all the weights taken out of her life, the way that God lifted the weights of mine. And He told me this is how. He told me, Becca, well, what are you doing wasting your time? You have to reach out. You can't just help one girl. You have to reach out to as many as you can. Get as many people as you can to turn to me. Because you're what I want in life. You're reaching my word. And before all the ego bashing, I want you all to know I'm a straight gay ally. I believe in equality. I'm a libertarian, so you can't say that I'm one of those Christian. I don't even know what the stereotypical party is. You can't stereotype a religion based on a couple of groups of people. I say that to everyone. If you're ever having a dark time, if you're ever worried, trust me when I say God's there, and He's waiting for you to reach out to Him and just talk to Him. You don't have to get down on your knees with your hands folded. Don't be sitting in one of those uncomfortable wooden pews of church listening to the bells ring. You can pray anywhere at any time, and no one will ever know. You know, for years I've sat next to a boy at lunch wondering why he zones out before he starts eating. It's because he's praying and thanking God that he gets a meal, and that it's another day that he's eating, because he knows that somewhere in the world there's someone who's not. So here's my challenge to you. I want you, whoever you are, wherever you are, to say a prayer. It doesn't matter if you're thanking God or apologizing to God, asking God a favor. He's listening. He's listening to all of us. And then come back and tell me about your experience, because I want to hear it. I want to start something. So don't just tell me in a comment. Make a video. Make a note. Stick it in someone's locker. Don't sign it. Just reach out, and we can start a chain of people finding love in God where they thought they wouldn't. So, challenge accepted.